Good morning, children. Welcome back to the social session of human rights and fundamental rights. I have given you the introduction to the rights yesterday. What are rights we have seen. So, rights are nothing but the reasonable claims of a person is called as a right, and these claims are generally protected by the laws, and all of us would like to live happily and without being discriminated. We like to live in. So, in order to live such a dignified and respectful life in the society, the law guarantees us with certain rights. The concept of equal rights have been changing on. We have seen elsewhere. That means in America, the fight between the blacks and the whites you have seen, and women's rights also we have seen. Women's rights over the property also we have seen. So, rights also become significant in the context of the democratic process. If you want the democratic setup to function properly and to reach the benefits to the poorest person, then rights become very important in this context. So, democratic systems strive to preserve the equal rights, equal ground for all, and they allow people to express their opinion and make choices. So, this is including the choice of being represented by people, and they believe in, and this choice is called as the vote. So, being elected also they have the right, and they can also elect, they get elected, and they can also elect other person as their representative also. This choice is made through the vote, and that is a political right. And democracy safeguards not just the opinion of the majority people, but also the minorities. Already in the previous lesson we have seen under the democracy an evolving idea to respect the minorities opinion even. So, democracies place all people, whether majority or minority. It places all the people on the same plane, and the Indian Constitution also ensures that. Already you have seen the Indian Constitution in your previous 8th standard, the making of the Indian Constitution working. So, it gives us, it protects us all the people irrespective of the caste, race, gender, religion, creed. They all are protected by the government irrespective of all these. And however, there are certain rights which are so fundamental and are to personhood that they have been given statutory. Statutory means that which has been provided legally and guaranteed in the Constitution also. If anybody violates it, you can approach the court of law. So, such kind of guaranteed, Constitution also guaranteed certain rights which we call them as a fundamental rights for the personhood, for the individual to survive. Those rights are basically required. So, certain rights are even guaranteed by the Constitution, and these rights are known as fundamental rights. So, these rights are so important that they are expressed by many of the democratic nations in the world. They are very common in all the democratic nations, and they have been codified even by the United Nations organization also. You know, United Nations is an international organization which also looks for the violation of the human rights, and they find a place even in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that is UDHR. UDHR. What is this UDHR, children? Universal Declaration on Human Rights. ये यूनिवर्सल डिक्लेरेशन ऑन ह्यूमन राइट्स में भी फंडामेंटल राइट्स, थोड़े राइट्स जो इसमें मेंशन करे थे वही राइट्स को हम फंडामेंटल राइट्स बोल के हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में गारंटी दिए थे. गारंटी बोले तो क्या गारंटी दिए? अगर कोई वायलेट करे तो आपका हक को कोई छीन लिए तो आप कोर्ट को जा सकते, आप उसके ऊपर केस लगा सकते. वैसी गारंटी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ने दी. प्रोटेक्ट करने की गारंटी is given by the Constitution. So, UDHR is a document, actually Universal Declaration of Human Rights is a document which many of the modern states are signatories. That means many modern countries have signed on them, implying that they will uphold all the basic human rights mentioned there. What are those things mentioned under that? We will see in the class now. So, coming to the fundamental rights in the Indian Constitution, in the part 3 of the Indian Constitution, these fundamental rights find a place, and these rights give a protection from oppressive governments and place a duty on the government to hold them. It is a duty of the government to protect the people's rights. They are so important that if they are violated by the government or by a person or by any organization, they can approach to the High Court or to the Supreme Court without going to the lower courts for relief. And writ is an authority which can issue directions to the government to protect and enforce any fundamental right, and it is an inherent power of the Supreme Court or to the High Court to issue the writ. Writ is a order by the Supreme Court or by the High Court. Okay, there will be different writs which are issued. The court can sumoto means sumoto, on its own motion. अगर कोई नहीं लगा है तो भी, केस कोई नहीं लगा है तो भी, अगर पेपर में आया सो आर्टिकल ले लेके केस फाइल कर सकती, कोर्ट इच केस फाइल कर सकती. इट इज कॉल्ड एज सुमोटो ऑन इट्स ओन मोशन. कैन ऑल्सो टेक कॉग्निसेंस ऑफ द वायोलेशन ऑफ ए फंडामेंटल राइट. ओके, अगर कुछ फंडामेंटल राइट वायोलेशन हुआ तो उसके ऊपर केस कैन बी फाइल्ड बाय द court itself. So such kind of power has been given by these writs to the High Court and Supreme Court by the Constitution. So tomorrow we shall see about the fundamental rights in the next class, children. Thank you.